Here with another LEGO review. This whole set of things is from 2015 from the Deep Sea Explorers line. It is the LEGO City Deep Sea Explorer Deep Sea Operation Base. So we've got a lot going on here. You've got a base, you've got some submarines, an airplane, a little tiny bit of seascape. So let's get into the review. We'll start with this little sub that's up in the front here. So let's take a look at the figures real quick. So you've got a little female diver, yellow tanks, kind of the same as the standard for this particular line. We've got one that's a little bit different here, and he's got kind of more of a heavy diving suit. So let's pull that off. So it's almost like a deep sea diving type of suit. They are deep sea explorers, so it kind of makes sense. He's sitting on this kind of little raft thing here. And essentially, it's kind of like a little mini scooter, but it's more like almost like to transport things. So different oxygen tanks and whatnot, which I'll get into in just a minute here. So we'll put that to the side for a minute. Let's get to the next submarine. We've got another submarine with a little guy inside, lots of lights. So where this guy was E08, this one's E07. It's got a little hook on the top. You've got the propellers. And then you've got two different arms. One's got kind of like a chainsaw, one's kind of a little grabby arm. If we pull that open, and we get this guy out of there, wiggle him out here. Let's take a look. So if we can focus, there we go. He's got a little walkie-talkie, and then he's got that kind of this 2015 series divers logo here for the Deep Sea Explorers. We've got an anchor set on a compass there with what looks like possibly an octopus or a squid arm going through it. We're going to sit him back down, but before we do, we'll take a look real quick if it's visible. Let's see if we can get a better shot of that. You can kind of see there's some control panels there. Something to actually hold on to, sort of. He's usually just sitting there, but there's stickers that'll give you an idea of what he's controlling. So we'll get him all cinched down. The arms have good movement. So there's that. Move him off to the side. Let's get to the terrain just because it's kind of up in the front here. You've got one shark, and then you've got this kind of little bit of train with a cave, and then inside is a treasure, and it looks like you can use the submarine to kind of pull this open. So we'll pull the treasure out, see what we've got here. And then we'll open up the treasure chest. And so we are looking at a gold bar and some gems. I'm going to stick that right back in there. It doesn't really hold in there. It's literally just a set of tiles there, so it just kind of hangs out in there, so it's easy to grab and get out of there. Close that up. I'm going to put that off to the one side here. Let's get to the base. And we're going to get the base onto the turntable here just to make it a little bit easier. So I'm going to just grab the base, make that a little bit easier. So you've got some lights in the front, you've got the guy that's back there, we're going to look at him in a second, and you've got these oxygen tanks here. And then as we go to the other side here, you've got another window. By the way, these windows are just like the one on the submarine. They do open. They're not meant to. It's just kind of the way that they are. Speaking of the tanks, here's a spare one. So what you can do with this tank is, I'm going to grab the other sub here, is you can actually put that onto the sub So it can kind of transport that maybe from the surface, which is where the plane's going to come into, and we'll look at that in a minute. So we're going to keep that off for just a second. While I've got this in hand, we're going to rotate all the way to the back, and you'll notice up here, and let me just re-angle just a little bit here. There we go. Right at the top of my frame here, you've got a crane. So if we take the sub there, move the crane towards the camera here, I'm going to lower the hook just enough so we can get it hooked on. And then I'm going to rotate the other way here just so you guys can kind of see what's going on here. So we're going to raise this sub here, and it's spinning a little bit, but once we raise that up, move it forward, drop it, and you could say that you could make this a base that's on the surface, or it could be under the water, and all of this is kind of, you know, the part of the base that's sealed off, so to speak. So you can literally just drop that sub there. The hook will also work with the other sub. So if we grab the other sub will fit as well, just kind of hanging out. And then if we pull that away, one of the neat features is that if besides just the crane, you've also got just a little ladder off to the side and a door. It's kind of a hatch, but you can also take this whole thing and you can open it, so it doesn't have to be that way. It can be set up this way. This, of course, will make it easier for us to kind of see what's in the inside. So as we come back around again, what we've got here, and we're going to pop the door open just to let just a hair of light through here, whatever little bit we can get in there. So you've got a little guy in there. Let's pull this guy out off of his chair. There we go. So this particular minifig, same uniform as the sub driver or the sub pilot, just a different minifig. We'll put her back into her little seat. If we can get her foot to, there we go, close enough. All right, so let's get a little bit closer. On the inside, you've got a spear gun. You've got the door, which I'm going to shut. There we go. We shut the door there. And then you've actually got some control panels here as well. Got some radar, computers. You've got another one, which let's see if we can get a better look at it through here. It's a little bit tricky to see. I'm going to try to flip this around here as best as I can. But you can see right there, it's basically just like a little bit of sticky notes and a notepad. And then on the other side, from the figure out of the way, we're going to pull the panel off if we can get our finger in there. And show you what's on that one, because it is actually kind of neat. If we can get that off. And the pieces, of course, Lego quality, so everything is really, really tight. Doesn't want to come off, that's fine. It's being stubborn. Pull the chair off. And you can kind of see, I know it's really hard, but there's actually a neat little one there. And what's really neat about that is there's actually a little bit of a symbol of a boat there. So we're going to eventually have another review for the boat. But you've got this full base with the minifigure, which we're going to put back in the chair. Put the chair back. So we pull that off. Kind of just controlling this whole little operation. So you've got the base. And you've got, of course, a fire extinguisher in the corner. Put that back that way. Let's move the base out of the way for the moment. Let's grab the airplane. Propeller spin. Does, of course, have a pilot. It is a seaplane. This one is E09. Got a sticker here with a logo. Some engine detail. Pretty cool looking plane. Definitely a neat one. One of my main reasons for buying this when I did buy it was actually for the plane mainly, as that was, I like vehicles, so definitely a cool thing there. Cockpit, fairly straightforward. You just pull the whole cockpit off. It comes off as one piece. Let's take a look at the pilot. We're going to just stick that back on the turntable so we can look at the pilot. So the pilot is straightforward. If we can zoom in on him. There we go. So he's got a little bit of a little pilot symbol. He's got a little ID badge, kind of like a little jacket on, sunglasses. We're going to put him back in his pilot seat. And then we're going to put him back in his cockpit. There's only a steering wheel, so nothing otherwise that's actually keeping control of the plane. So he's doing it all by steering, and then we're going to look at the cargo area here once we get that secure. So the cargo area has two hatches. Got one on this side, one on the other side. It goes all the way through. And the oxygen tanks will fit in here. So it's a sense that you could say that the plane brings these, then they take the submarine, the one that's got the little flat portion on it, so this guy right here, and they use this guy to bring it up and from the plane down into the base. So that's kind of the general premise. So you've kind of got almost a deep sea airplane in a way. So we've got the deep sea operations base for the deep sea explorers. You've got the plane. I'll get the turntable out of the way here. So we've got a plane. We have a deep sea base. Got a little bit of train. Got a bunch of minifigures. Got a diver there who just fell over. Another diver. There's submarine. We'll put those guys on the sub here, and we'll just have that one kind of hang or taking a nap. And then you've got the other sub. So decent amount of stuff. It is a little odd with the airplane being there and kind of, it's almost like I feel like they wanted to put an airplane into the set. That's what it feels like. But overall, decent set. The main draw, of course, if you're into the diver's line, would be the submarines. And then the base is pretty cool as well. The plane's pretty neat. Can't have too many seaplanes. There's not that many of them. So definitely a neat set from 2015, the Deep Sea Operation Base. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.